The aim of the Touch and Rice podcast is to spread fun in the touch football community. We talk a little bit of touch footy chat, but mostly play games and throw some banter. Hosts Sess and Kimmy would like to pay respects to the traditional owners of the land on which we meet.
My name is Jorgie Skiing, and I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet here today. Today we're meeting in Meanjin, and those traditional owners are the Yagara and Turrbal people. And I'd also like to pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging, and acknowledge my people, the Gubbi Gubbi people, and extend that acknowledgement to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people listening in today.
Mabuhay, Kimmy.
Mabuhay.
G'day, Emily, our first official guest all the way over from London in the UK. And I couldn't think of anyone better, Kimmy, to jump on for our first guest, given that obviously the World Cup's over in your home country, Emily.
Morning, or good afternoon, I should say. Pleasure to be on.
So we'll basically start, Emily, by just tell us about you. Tell us about your touch footy background. Obviously, I don't want to say you've heard it here first because I'm assuming it'll be announced by then, but you are in the England team. And let's assume by the time this comes out in the next few weeks, England will release the squad. So tell us about your experience playing for the country and what we should expect coming over there.
Yeah, absolutely. Lovely to meet everybody. I'm Emily Rona-Roper. I play for England Women's Open, approaching about 10 years in the Women's Open setup now. So first started playing touch back in, 2014. First campaign was 2015 World Cup. So looking forward to my third. Did Malaysia too. So this will be sort of the third one, obviously, in Nottingham, England. So I guess before that, I've sort of rugby background, so made the kind of transition to touch at university, which is, I'm going to say, sort of quite common here. We obviously have really good sort of youth and junior setup, but lots of people kind of come to it a bit later in life. That's me. So luckily we sort of got over the selection hurdle last week. And so, happy to kind of take a bit of an exhale and, as we were saying, prepare for the last kind of 50 or so less days until we welcome you all in Nottingham. And
you've captained the country. Is that, have you been offered that again, or is that to be announced?
Yes. I'm proud to say that I will be captaining going into this campaign. So obviously really chuffed about that. Yeah, a bit of a dream come true, really, to sort of have to captain your home nation at a campaign such as this. So yeah, incredibly honoured. But saying that, I think a lot of my kind of captaincy leadership style is very much kind of making sure that everyone's leaders. I really want to make sure the girls all feel that kind of agency, and that, isn't really the person that does the coin toss that kind of dictates how a team works. So that's kind of really spread out. So whilst obviously it's a huge honour, I think a lot of my kind of leadership style is very much to kind of bring the best out in others and actually make sure we all stand tall.
So you mentioned the World Cups in 2015, 2019. I just want to do a bit of a bio for you as well, a bit of a humble brag sheet. So you've competed in the European Championships 2016, 2018, 2022, 2023, Autumn International Championships in 2021. And I believe there were some international fixtures versus Scotland and Wales, and then 5 times national champions with the Southeast Taipans. And then a bit of OzTag, we won't mention that. It's not a OzTag. That's on the side. Some World Cups there, but so quite a good brag sheet, Kimmy. Anything on the back of?
Was the Southeast Taipans? Was that you played this year?
We did. That was 2 weeks or so ago. A bit of a chunky time with selection, nationals, and all that.
Were there any notable Australians in that team?
There was some notable Australians in that team. But you know the answer to this question. We were really honoured. We had Sarah Peaty running with us for Southeast Taipans. It was an absolute pleasure to get to play with her and kind of have her bring all of her experience to bear for the campaign this year. It was a really tough campaign. It was very, very close, really competitive, as you could probably expect in a World Cup year. Everybody absolutely upped their game. And I sort of just the pleasure of sort of running with her over 3 days and kind of trying to draw on a bit of that kind of learning. I think all the girls really, really benefited. It wasn't just Sarah. We also had Gabby Chu, who I think is ex-Magpies, maybe a friend of yours. So the pair of them, we call them mum and dad. Very much.
Oh, who's mum and who's dad?
Do you want to take a guess? We had Gabby was mum.
Okay.
Gabby was touch mum and Sarah was dad.
Excellent. No, I got the because of them, I was able to watch some of the highlights. So I didn't even realize it was on, and they obviously posted some videos up on their socials and got to have a look at it, and it looked like a lot of fun. You guys played amazing as well. So congratulations. I don't think that's a mean feat to be how many is it? 5?
Yeah, it's five in a row.
Wow, that's almost unheard of, I think, at any sort of national touch championship. So congratulations.
Thank you. I mean, it's a really special team. And yeah, we do a lot to really kind of pride our team culture and values. And obviously we have fantastically skilled players, but we try and pick good people and develop good people as well, which I think is really a bit different to lots of how other teams work. And yeah, obviously a massive achievement, something I'm hugely proud of. But also, yeah, I guess it's, there's been kind of times in finals over those years where obviously sort of 5 times in a row, yeah, that sounds fantastic, but it really hasn't been easy this year. It went down to a score in the last 30 seconds. A similar, I think 2 years ago, we were 2 behind with 6 minutes to go. And I think that's where I guess you really it's those memories, I guess, that you take with you when you've actually just got your head down, kept the faith, kept trust in your processes. And all of a sudden you've managed to either draw it or bring it back. And yeah, great memories with those team, and happy to get the win again this year.
100%.
So Emily, we'll jump into our set of 6 segment, set of 6 touch-based questions for you. I think you'll do well with all of them. So before we jump into that, captain of the England Open women's team for the 2024 campaign, do you prefer Emily, Clewsy? Seems like that at the top, but
yeah. So in the touch community, lots of people know me as Clewsy. The reason for that being, well, it's my maiden name, and I like to joke that touch has been in my life longer than my husband. So Clewsy is what people typically know me as. We also have a lot of Emilys and Ems in our team, so it actually gets quite confusing to call people Em or Emily, because we have a multitude of them. I think we have 4 this year. So we could do, like a starting set of M's if we wanted to. So yeah, I mean, for this, anything, but yeah, Clewsy, people know me as.
Perfect. Clewsy it is. I feel like it's a very, very strong touch name too. We have some very good touch M's over here as well. So set of 6, let's go. Question number 1, what's your favorite touch footy move or play?
Oh my gosh. Probably like a sweeper.
Mm-hmm. And
Quite simple,
are you the sweeper?
options.
Are you the half? Are you setting it up?
I can be across all of those, and in my time I've probably done all of those things. But I think, yeah, I guess for our women's team it's super simple. We have people that can execute really well off it, and we can execute the options well as well. So yeah, quite a simple thing to roll into.
Cool. And promise you not a trap question for the Aussie girls to look out for Clewsy on the stream. Question number 2, what's your favorite thing about touch?
I think my favorite thing about touch, and what really drew me to it, was actually how much it changes. And you might disagree, you might not say it changes, and maybe it sort of goes around in circles. But coming from a rugby background, I was a winger. I did the same thing for many, many years. And whilst that was fun, it didn't really develop me, where I think in touch, I've played across positions, I've played different roles, I've done different things. We've tweaked things and changed things. And so I think the fact that it's always changing and challenging me, even sort of 10 years in now, is what really kind of keeps me going and, turning up at those trainings.
Question 2B, there's a lot of questions and Kimmy, you jump in as well if you have any on the back of these set of 6. It kind of turns out into a set of 12 almost sometimes. But so question 2B, on the back of that, do you feel, or how do you think the game has changed from previous campaigns, 2015 World Cup to 2019 and even to now? What do you think things will be different this time around?
I think this is quite a complex one. I would say I think it's got simpler, but that could be me with more tenure in the game, if that makes sense. Like, I guess you don't know what you don't know when you're starting out, when you're learning things for the first time. So in a way, I think it's actually trying to simplify things and execute, where I think, especially, this is no disrespect to England touch, but I think, as I said, because people do kind of join the game here a little bit later on, we tend to overcomplicate the sort of policies and structures to kind of make up for the almost, not lack of basic skills, that's really unfair, but kind of the fact that we're a bit behind on executing some of those basic skills. And I think actually we're finally at a point where we're kind of focusing on the right things and just trying to get, actually, touch is ultimately a simple game, and actually sort of going back to our roots sometimes, and actually, I guess, asking ourselves, like, are we hitting third on halfway? Are we hitting 6 near the 7? And if we're not, let's look at those things before we try and, I guess, add levels of complexity. So I hope that answers your question.
Yep, completely makes sense. Question number 3, favorite tournament. Now, you've been involved with a lot. We just spoke about nationals and also the World Cups. What would your favorite tournament be and why?
My favorite tournament was actually my first tour, State Cup tour, which we haven't mentioned yet, which was back in 2018. So we sent a team back in 2018 to New South Wales, and we went this year as well in 2023, and we managed to do Queensland and New South Wales. The first one of those tours, so the 2018 one, I guess my first kind of experience in the flesh of the New South Wales State Cup, just incredibly enjoyable, incredibly fun. In a way, you're obviously wearing an England shirt, you're representing, but the pressure isn't there. It is there to learn, and it's like a learning experience. And I think we all sort of learned tremendously from that tournament, and that was probably the kind of real starting point, I think, for how things have developed. Obviously, sort of gone into 2019, and then definitely this new kind of cycle. I think some of the learnings we took from that have been, sort of really, really positive. And yeah, it was the first time we did it, and it was a really great experience.
I think we were both playing at that one, weren't we, Sess? I definitely did. I played 30s that year.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Look, I love seeing the teams come over and compete at this different state cups. I think it's so invaluable for teams. I think, I could be wrong here, but I think Japan were maybe the first to come over and do that. And we saw the improvement in them at their different campaigns and in touch in general. So I think it's really, really smart if countries have the opportunity to do that. As you said, Clewsy, perfect learning experience as well, more than absolutely represent. You've got the shirts on, you've got the jerseys, but I think more from a learning aspect, there's nothing better. I don't think there's a better opportunity than have, and to go to both as well, because they're different tournaments. Kimmy and I have been fortunate enough to play in both, and they're very different, and you'll have, as you know, you'll have different experiences at both.
Yeah, absolutely. And people were so welcoming as well, which I didn't mention. Like, it was actually just a really lovely experience, hands down, from both sort of on the pitch and off the pitch. So yeah, I hope to get out there again.
End of this year, yeah, post World Cup.
Yeah.
Question number 4, what is your best touch memory?
Oh my gosh, this is going to sound really, really corny, but it's definitely ingrained in there. So my first sort of touch World Cup, first time I played Australia, so back in 2015, I think it was obviously at Coffs. It was back on the kind of field 2, was it? So the kind of one behind the stadium pitch. And I think we got, pretty hammered in that game. I can't remember the precise score. I think it might have been the 20s. So it was big. It was before we went down to half games with the rain. And yeah, the score was well away from us at this point, but Hennessy took an intercept. I think I was playing link at that time, and I thought, I'll just chase her down, see what happens. Didn't really expect to kind of catch up with her. Managed to do it, which I think surprised myself. And it was captured on camera, which is quite funny. So if you ever see me on kind of socials, it is that very old photo of me kind of getting her in the back. But what was special about it very much was it kind of happened in front of our England touch tent. And just the support, there was lots of cheers and claps. And I think Australia went to score on they definitely did go on to score in like the next sets. But yeah, as someone who's sort of fairly unknown in the setup at that point, I had lots of people sort of come up to me and ask me about it and kind of say, oh, well done, sort of good effort. And so yeah, I guess that was just like a nice little moment. Quite funnily, I've had lots of, because I've kind of put that on my profile pictures, and I don't pay too much attention to social media, but it's been up there for a while. I used to get people message me thinking I was her. So to say, oh, Emily, you're such a great touch player, and I'd be like, yeah, thank you. I think you think you may have got confused. I wish. But yeah, that's just a nice little memory of, I guess, from the very, very early days of a little bit of that tournament. So that's probably the first big one.
It's a great memory.
I just want to touch base on something you said earlier about how you feel like touch is getting more simple. I couldn't agree more. I feel like coaches and players alike tend to get wrapped up in, the technical and making things look fancy and so on and so forth. And sometimes those simple things do kind of get thrown in the back seat, if you want to put it that way. But just with the like second efforts for me are massive. So whilst eventually Australia did go on to score, they didn't score that set. So you had to make them earn it. You had to make them go, okay, we now need to go back and try again. And maybe they would have failed. Obviously they succeeded, but it's just those little moments that, you know, you got to put those second efforts in and make sure the opponent, whoever they are, earns that right to score. So yeah, I think that's a great memory to have. And it's something that's important, I think, for anyone who's playing whatever level, just to sort of really keep those simple things alive. And the little things are actually big moments. So
Yeah.
Sorry, Clewsy. It's a great memory, and Kimmy is actually really good friends of the person that you chased down. So, and she's trying to get her on the podcast. So we may or may not bring up that memory and see if she can remember.
It'll be the first thing I bring up. If we get Em Hennessy on here, I'll be she'll remember it for sure. She's got a great memory when it comes to tournaments and people. I had the pleasure of managing actually the Aussie Women's Opens in Malaysia, and usually I like to stop and say hello, and I know quite a lot of people around touch, but not as many as Em Hennessy. So usually it would take me, let's just say, half an hour to walk back to the tent. If I stood with her, it was an hour and a half, and it got to the point where I was like, oh, I've got stuff to do. See you there. But she would stop and talk to everyone, but yeah, no doubt she'll remember that for sure.
Question number 5, the set of 6, we're nearly there. Plans after this World Cup. Will we see Clewsy in New Zealand 2028?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very open question. And to be honest, I'm trying to just not think about it, which I'm not sure is the kind of right response. But I knew playing 2019, that was not how I wanted my sort of World Cup in England shirt to end, my World Cup journey. So I kind of committed back then that I'd be there for the next one. And I'm obviously very happy to have made that despite the pandemic and kind of, you know, all the kind of challenges in sort of the last 5 years. So I think we're going to have to see. Obviously, I love it. I would hope to be there. But yeah, let's see how the next 50 days pans out. And I think there's also a point where, as I said, I'm one of the sort of older ones in the team now. And, you know, we have got some great talent coming on through. So part of me does feel kind of almost it's the right way, it's the right thing to do to step on at some point, maybe this year, maybe next year, to kind of, you know, that's kind of part of the duty, you know, you leave your shirt in a better place. So yeah, no firm plans, going to see how it goes. I'm sure you probably can't prize me away, so I'm sure I'll be involved somehow.
Excellent. Good answer, leaving it open. Last question, set of 6. Tell us about the team.
Okay. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, fantastic team. I think we have, I should know this, 1 debutante, so quite a kind of consistent group. Many of the girls that were there in our State Cup tour this year, but also many that, a few that weren't. So again, that's sort of really positive. We were very clear that playing in that comp was a great learning experience. It didn't kind of dictate your selection in any way or anything like that. So actually props on those girls for saying like, we've missed out here and we're going to double down, you know, our efforts to kind of learn and kind of absorb that from the girls that did go, and, you know, how can we up our game in the way that we need to. So yeah, I say we probably got a good contingent of players that have been around for sort of most of this cycle. Sorry, all of this cycle. So come into the team post 2019, 2020, obviously we've had a bit of a delay there with COVID, but, you know, a very solid group that have been in since sort of like 2021 and longer. Like, I'm actually not the longest standing member of our team. We've got the fantastic Zan Hudson, who is, I think she's beyond her 75th cap. She got that a few years ago, but she's been repping since 2010, 2011, I think. Sorry, Zan, if I've missed, you know, pre my time. So we have some obviously great kind of experience there within the team, mixed with some really, really good up and coming talent, really, really exciting stuff that actually players, again, not to mention the junior setup, but players that have come through that kind of junior setup rather than, you know, we have lots of girls that played abroad or played at school, and that's where they kind of learned their touch and have come to England. Now we're beginning to see, you know, a really good, solid, exciting chunk of players who have developed through our youth systems. So a really nice blend, I must say, of yeah, really nice group, really nice blend of kind of both experience and kind of youth. And I think it's going to be a fantastic campaign for us because everyone is going to learn and benefit either from the environment or from each other. So yeah, couldn't be more proud of them, really. It's yeah, and I probably should take this moment to shout out to the girls that obviously it's more than just the 16 that go to the comp that contribute to kind of our journey and our success. And this year was probably the most competitive we've ever had in terms of selection. There's no surprises in there, but you could just so many tough decisions. It could be this person or that person, and personally I wouldn't have minded who, if that makes sense. Like it was really kind of splitting hairs. So yeah, I probably should take a moment to really publicly sort of thank them and their efforts. And obviously lots of them are staying on as NTRs anyway, they're not going anywhere. But yeah, I think the future is really bright for our women's team especially.
That's so exciting to hear. I can't wait to watch the women's tournament actually, so rip in.
Yes.
And you've done well in the set of, that's it for the set of 6 plus a few extra touches there. So we'll throw over to Kimmy now, actually, for the next part of the podcast, next couple of parts, actually. So to give a bit of context around the games that we're about to play. So I shot Clewsy a couple of fruits. So she had mango, which she didn't know was representing Kimmy, and I gave her a dragon fruit, which I had chosen. And I believe, Kimmy, you had a reasoning behind the mango being your choice.
Oh, it's just, I think it's my favorite fruit currently. So I will make a smoothie almost every day, if not every second day, and it's always a mango smoothie. And a Filipino mango, it's the bomb. Like you have that with bagoong, which is shrimp paste. Not many other people would enjoy it, but it just slaps.
Well, maybe not for Clewsy, and I'll get to that in a moment. But I also chose the dragon fruit. I would have chosen a mango because I'm with you there, right down there. But obviously we had to choose something different, and dragon fruit isn't too far behind. I love the dragon fruit. So Clewsy, you chose the dragon fruit, so you're up against me in our games today, and I have to say I'm coming hard. I really want to beat you because Timmy won the first one, and there is something on the line at the end of this season of the podcast, whenever that might be. So the loser has to go skydiving, and neither of us have done it. So a little bit of a fear factor there. So I definitely don't want to be, what would that be, 0-3 after this podcast. So hopefully I can get a win over for you today. But the reason I mentioned about the mango, Kimmy, fun fact about Clewsy, does not like or eat fruit.
Oh,
we have to dig a bit deeper into that before we jump into the games.
Wow. I actually have a couple of other friends who are the same, and I've never understood it. So you'll have to explain it to me later. I don't think I'd survive.
Interesting. It's just that ever since I was very young, probably since I had my own autonomy of thought, I've just really disliked it. Just not kind of shunned them. Don't like the taste, the smell, the texture. Like to the point, if you were like, can you put carry this mango for me? I'd be like, rather not. Like it's a bit weird, and it's something that those close to me also know, but also probably find a bit weird. But I get my veggies in. I'm very much like green veggie girl. So we get our 5 a day. I'm sure Filipino mangoes rock, and maybe open to trying one sometime. But yeah, over here, less appetizing, I've got to say.
Fair. All good. All right. Well, before we get into the games, I've got a really quick game, and this one doesn't count for points. This is just for you, Clewsy. It's this or that.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna say 2 things, and you pick which one you prefer. It'll be a really quick one, just for fun, so we can get to know you a little bit more. So first one: sunrise or sunset?
Sunrise.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Attend a party or host a party?
Attend a party.
Summer or winter?
Summer.
An England summer or an Australian summer?
Probably an Aussie summer.
Glass half empty or half full?
Always half full.
Red wine or white wine?
No wine, but if I had to pick, I'd say white.
Okay, this is where it gets fun. New South Wales or Queensland?
Oh no. I'm gonna say Queensland.
Oh,
sorry. My husband's
right.
a Kiwi, and he follows Queensland state of origin, so that is my reasoning for Queensland. I have to justify myself.
Choice.
All right. Touch football or touch rugby?
I'll touch football.
Women's or mixed?
Women's.
Social touch or rep touch?
Rep touch.
In a drop off, are you on the field or in the sub box?
I'm usually on the field for my sins.
And here's a Finnish one. Would you rather save 100 strangers or one loved one?
Oh, that's horrible.
Sorry, I've got a friend who loves these would you rathers, and I thought this is probably the most PG rated one out of the ones.
Probably a loved one.
There's
I'm
no
sorry.
right or wrong answer. It's just always interesting to see like where people's logic goes. It's 100 people or one, but you don't know the 100 and you do know the one. So, all right, the first
For
game.
the record, I'm going the one loved one as well.
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Make me feel better.
What are you choosing?
Oh, the one loved one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Not even a question. Like if you think about it, you just name any loved one and you're like, I can't sacrifice you. All right. Okay. So the first game we're going to play is called Alpha Bucks. I'm going to give you a letter. Both of you are playing at the same time. So there's no time limit on it. It's just whoever gets the answer in first.
Okay.
Okay. So your letter for today is the letter B for banana. Sorry, I went with a fruit. I just realized you don't like fruit. All right. So question number 1. Something you carry things in.
Bag.
Yes. By the way, Clewsy, you're playing for me, so that's all right.
And I didn't know the game that Kimmy was choosing either, Clewsy, so I'm as blind as you are going into this.
Number 2, type of dancing.
Ballroom.
Oh, God.
There's high pressure. It's all good. Number 3, I should probably change that one. I didn't even realize. Number 3 was fruit, which makes it like hilariously funny. It's not a question. I'm going to take that one off. All right. Number 3 now. Something you need to play cricket.
Bat.
Yes. Just. I wonder if there's like a delay, an international delay.
Come on.
I'm going to claim that.
All right. Number 4, a room in the house.
Bathroom.
Yes. All right. Number 5, something a baby wears.
Bonnet.
Bib.
It's very old. I don't know many babies that wear a bonnet, but it's an answer.
It's correct technically. All right. Next one, something you do on a trampoline.
Bounce.
Clewsy.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm the judge.
The delay.
Well, from where I heard Clewsy first. All right. Next one, someone who sells meat.
Butcher.
All right. We got 2 more. Something a tree has.
Branches.
I didn't even think of that. I was like, bark.
Tree.
Something you drink out of.
Bottle.
All right. That's the end of that one.
You picked the wrong game, Kimmy. I have to admit, I know when you're listening on the radio or whatever and they play these games, I always feel like I would have won that $1,000 because I got 10 out of 10. But very different, I know, when you're on the phone. Very different when you're on a podcast too. But I'd be confident with jumping on a radio game. So glad to get that win. Thank you, Clewsy.
All right. So I'm just going to do a tester now. The next game, if this doesn't work, then we're going to change to another game. But I don't want to give you one of my answers yet. So I need to really quickly see if I can find the page. It's the wrong one. Oh, no, here it is. Okay. Can you see? I'm definitely not using this one. If I was to put this up here, can you guys see that clearly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bueno. Okay, so this is a riddle game using emojis. So you need to guess. It could be anything. It could be a saying. It could be a movie. It could be, yes. I don't want to give too much away.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. So again, first one to buzz in. I'll give you a clue. This one is a country.
Madagascar.
I was nowhere near that.
Sad face.
Absolutely nowhere near that.
Petrol pump, gas, car.
Okay.
Madagascar. Yeah.
This isn't. I don't know if this one needs a clue. Let's just see how you go with it first. Here we go. Your clue
So picture of an alien. Picture of is that a phone, mobile phone, and then a house.
I had a clue.
It's a quote from a movie. A quote from a movie.
I'm struggling, Seth.
Oh, phone home.
Almost.
ET phone home?
Yes.
No! Come on.
You didn't say the whole thing. You got to
Oh,
say the whole
man.
thing.
That's the
One
only
up.
one I'm going to get this round. So can I have it?
That was, yeah,
It's
that's
yours.
all yours.
Clewsy
That
got
was a
that one.
layup. That was my fault
All
for
right.
talking out loud.
This one is a saying. Yes, a saying.
Raining cats and dogs.
Yes.
Well done.
We've got to
Yes.
come back here. Oh, yeah. I've picked the right game here. All right. This one is a movie.
Devil Wears Prada.
Boom.
Trying to think. I had what's her name in my head, Anne Hathaway, but I couldn't get it out. Well done.
Oh, I forgot what this one is. Hold on a second. Got to scroll down for the. Oh, yep. Got it. This is also a saying. It's nothing to do with a movie or anything. It's just a saying that in general conversation or about.
One or an up.
Mm.
Blue moon. Once in a blue moon.
Yes.
Oh,
You
very
gotta,
good.
you got to say it out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
don't wanna-
I'm scared
you-
to do that because Clewsy will jump on and grab it. Yeah.
True.
Like an
but
intercept.
Still.
That's what it felt like. She ran down an intercept.
All right, score check. It's 3-2 to Clewsy. Here we go. Next one. Oh, that's a saying as well. Let's go. This one should be simple. This is a movie.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Ooh, that's a tie.
Okay.
You're gonna have to replay it, and we can't do that. All right. Oh, I forgot the answer to this one as well. I really should have written these down. Oh no, I did know that one. Here we go. I don't think this one needs a clue.
Okay. Love letter?
Yes.
I thought that was too simple, but yeah, well done. I should have just yelled it out. That's fine.
All for the simple.
I know.
Here we go. We've got 2 more. So technically, Cess, you need this one to stay
need
in
this
it.
one. Okay.
Yeah. This is a saying.
Left 2 square 1. Oh, what? Left
Oh, come on.
square 1. Left.
Back to square one.
Yeah.
Ah, no, back. Again. Oh,
I was also looking at it being like left.
yeah.
It's left.
Well done. Well done.
All right.
Okay, for funsies.
This one's just for fun. Let's just see, just for fun. Here we go. I don't need to give you guys a clue. But come on.
Milk or water? World, earth, water, world, milk, drink. I don't know. Do you know, Clewsy? What the hell is this?
Okay.
I don't.
I'm gonna give you guys a clue. Here we go. You ready?
What a world.
52 days.
Oh, World Cup.
I woke up.
Ah.
Like it.
Oh,
all
well
right.
done. I'm happy
Well,
to be
milk.
on the board. I'm happy to be on the board. So at least, yeah, Kimmy's up now 2-1, I believe.
Yes. Still in the lead.
Yes. Thank you, Clewsy. Well, Kimmy, thanks you. Not so much me. I was hoping to get a clean sweep to get in the lead there. So thank you, Kimmy. Thank you for those games. Clewsy, we didn't that's pretty much it for the podcast. But in terms of we would be remiss of us to not wrap up first by asking you prediction. But before we get to that, you're in London, aren't you? You're in London, England.
I am.
So for those that are flying into London and will most likely spend 2-3 days a week or whatever, we know there's a lot of sporting things going on. But outside of that and outside of things people could Google, what should they do? What should they go and check out? And outside of, the Big Ben and London Tower and that sort of thing, what should the players, coaches, everyone that's coming go out and do?
That's a really tough one. I think outside of the touristy stuff, I think is probably just there's always stuff going on in London. There's always cool sort of places and spaces to visit. So pop-ups, markets, like that sort of thing. That's probably what I'd say outside of like, your big attractions and things like that. If I think about me enjoying a London summer, it's probably visiting some of the kind of parks here, and then the kind of the stuff that's not here all the time. So again, like kind of the pop-ups, there's really fun. There's always really fun like sporting bars that you can go to. So sort of axe throwing, crazy golf, all that sort of thing, which probably doesn't sound massively interesting. But yeah, that's the sort of stuff I think probably I like to go enjoy and do with the summer, you know, sort of with a cocktail and things like that. So I'm sure lots of people are sort of smacking their heads being like, there's so much better things you can do. But yeah, there's lots of stuff you can Google. If you put in like what's on this week, you'll find lots of kind of stuff like that, like recommendations for when people are either heading in or heading back out of the capital.
What about the big stuff? So if someone has just a day or half a day and they let's say they only have time to go see one of the big things, what should they not miss out on?
Gosh, it kind of depends what you're into, I think. So obviously you've got kind of the like in terms of like views of the city, you've got like, you know, Westminster Cathedral, Big Ben, like your sites. You've got things like the London Eye, so you can obviously see everything. I'm not sure it's even called the London Eye anymore. You can tell how much I don't get out in London. I really do not take advantage of everything on my doorstep. Sadly, no kind of beaches or fun things like that to do. It's all very kind of attraction based. But yeah, I think, yeah, I guess if it was me, I would go and see the sites, because I don't do that. I said I don't, you know, the museums, the kind of architecture and things like that, because I don't take enough time to kind of look at those things. I don't, yeah, it's all on my doorstep, and yeah, don't take, I should make more use of it.
To be fair, I think it's the same. Like, I'm currently based in Sydney, so I know all the places that I like to do, and yeah, it is hard, but I think it's really important to mention what time the sun sets during an England summer, which means that you have more time in the day to be able to do things. I think I was there last year, and I think the sun was still bright at almost 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, it will be. We'll be in June, July. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be long days.
Plenty of time to pack things in.
Yeah.
Now,
wear comfortable shoes, because that will get you when you think, you know,
1000%.
in your slides or your thongs. I don't know what you call them.
Especially after World Cup. Nobody's going to be walking properly after that week.
Indeed.
Slides are a must. I think that's probably one of the first things. Mine are already packed, I think. World Cup prediction for the Women's Open England team from the captain of England. Where are you going to finish, and how will you go in the tournament?
So in terms of, I can say where we want to finish. So we want to medal. I think we will go well in the tournament, but all of the tournaments come with, I don't want to say hiccups, but it's never plain sailing, regardless of skill, ability. You always have your bogey games, the games that catch you out. But the last few years we were fifth in 2015 and fifth in 2019. So we'd like to reach a semi and hopefully get through to the medal stage. That's what we want. That's what we're aiming for. That's what we're working towards. So I hope we get there. Maybe we check in post, do a roundup post July and see if these predictions come true. But yeah, that's how I hope we go.
I think you I love talking about this one tournament. You're going to get sick of it by the end of this season, Cess, but at the Asia Pacific Youth World Cup, our mighty Philippines mixed team knocked out New Zealand in the semi-final. So as you said, every team can have their bogey games, and that's not disrespecting our team. They obviously turned up to play, and New Zealand, I think they just didn't give the Philippines the respect that they deserved. And, you know, you guys are building, and as you said, your selections this time around have been harder than before. So yeah, I think women's is going to be a very exciting tournament to watch. Maybe not so much for that gold medal match, but I think the race, you never know, but the race for that bronze medal is definitely going to be one to watch for sure. So hopefully we see you there.
Yeah, I hope so. And I think at the end of the day, as you said, it's 40 minutes, anything can happen. And yeah, you've got to go into that with that mindset. You can't go into it defeated. So yeah, we're ready for it. We can't wait.
Thank you for coming onto the podcast. Couldn't think of anyone better as our first official guest, other than the captain of the Women's Open team in the home nation. So we wish you all the best, and we really thank you for giving up your time and joining us. Last question. Actually, I nearly messed that up. We always finish, or when I say we always, from now on, we finish our podcast by asking our guests. Now, hopefully you can find something. We know it's not going to be fruit, but what is your fave dish to have with rice?
Oh, a fave dish to have with rice. I mean, I really love sort of like Thai Asian food. So like a Thai red curry, will probably be my go-to. Yeah.
I just had that for lunch, actually. It's funny that you say that.
Very good.
Fun fact. Yeah.
Perfect.
It
Good
was
answer.
delicious. Yeah.
It's yum.
Well, Emily/Clewsy, thank you very much for joining us, and we look forward to coming over to your country and seeing you at the World Cup. And all the best to not only your team but England as a host nation. Very, very exciting for the country to be hosting a World Cup. Massive event, massive achievement, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. I look forward to seeing you in July.
Cannot wait.
Thank you for listening to the Touch and Rice podcast. Please join us on all our socials, including Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Touch and Rice Podcast.